If this is what life sounds like, then this is what the world is. Got pissed between the whole zeitgeist, found out true religion ain't nothing but some old jeans. Struggling through the whole thing. I might need me a refund, cause I can't fit in these things. I spend too much on the floss, shine me down for the gloss. The cause is way too expensive, the fact is keeping us lost. I'm looking for the old meaning, to get us out of this teaching. They tell me that I'm too wrong, or maybe that I'm too preachy.
Hello, listener. Inconsistently Consistent Podcast. I'm Erik, better known as Everything Real is Known. Man, I had to call you back. I got another guest in here. You know what I'm saying? Got my guy Dan the Hype Man. You know what I'm saying? I had to call you back in here. You know what I mean? Because we did so well on the last episode. Everybody was like, oh my God, it's so fucking good, but your audio is fucked up. But the audio is terrible. So I was like, listen, shut the fuck up, okay? Listen, Linda, shut the fuck up. I knew it was fucked up, okay? But that's what happens when you're the only one doing the damn thing. You know what I'm saying? Running the show. Like, that's what happens. What do you want? What do you want from me? You know what I mean? But we definitely made sure that this shit is sounding a whole lot better this time around, hopefully. If it sounds fucked up again, listen, Linda. It is what it is. But I had such a good time with you last time that we was having these conversations in regards to the things that we was talking about, you know, the positive and the negative consequences, but we flipped it. You know what I'm saying? And we start talking about cancel culture, and we start talking about, you know, Karens and whatnots, and you know what I mean? So I had such a good conversation. I wanted to come bring you back for another episode because I feel like, man, every time we get together, somebody died. So, so R.I.P. Takeoff. We get into that in a minute, but you know what I mean? Like every time we get together, it seemed like somebody fucking died. We gotta stop doing this shit. We gotta stop planning. We gotta stop planning to get together right around when somebody dies.
You know what I mean? Cold-blooded, man. People are gonna want to cancel us because
they're gonna want to cancel us. You know what I'm saying? But welcome back to the show, man. Welcome back to this episode. You know, I was gonna go in and I was gonna title this episode, you know, something else. I was gonna go in a different direction. You know what I'm saying? But last minute, somebody died, and it changed my whole trajectory of where I was gonna go with the episode and where I was gonna go with the show. So, you know, when I talked to you, I just said, you know what, man, we just finna do a show. We just finna have a conversation about shit. We just finna catch up on life. We just finna talk about whatever it is and whatever comes up at this point in time. But I don't want to stray away from the fact of the culture and what's going on and what's happening in the world today. Because honestly, bro, I feel like we in a fucking video game. I feel like if Grand Theft Auto was fucking real, I feel like, and I'm talking about 5, I feel like we in a fucking video game simulation. This shit, some of the shit that's happening back to back to back to back to back, it's unreal. Like I'm like, what the fuck is happening out here? You know what I mean? And then when I surf the web, you know, everybody is talking about, you know, not wanting to go outside and, you know, being scared to go outside and shit. And it's just crazy right now, bro. How is it for you? How is it for you? How you feeling?
I'm with you, man. It's that, well, first and foremost, thanks for having me back. I appreciate it. I'll make sure, listener, I'll try not to blow your eardrums. Just keep your thumb, if you're listening on your phone, on that volume button. That way you can go up and down. Roll with the punches, baby.
Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. That's what happens when you only got one man running the show. Shit fucks up.
But we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you, Erik. You're doing the thing, man. But as far as like what's happening, what's going on, it's crazy, dude. It's almost to the point where society is becoming like numb to these various events.
Ooh.
Whereas people like our parents or our grandparents, like if this were to hit the newspaper, breaking news for the next morning, they'll be like, "Whoa, did you hear?" Whereas now
it
it's
would
like
be a talk.
Like, oh, that happened. Oh, and then
Man,
what's on tonight? Like that's
yeah,
it.
yeah. I think you touched on something. You touched on something that I didn't even touch on, obviously, because the numbing of the culture. You're right. You're right about that. I mean, the shit happened yesterday, and today I wake up and was like, shit, I gotta go get a haircut now. You know what I'm saying? Life goes on. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
Like,
I feel
and,
you.
you know, I think,
But let me ask you this:
yeah.
how
What's up?
different would it be in the hip hop community if that bullet didn't hit Takeoff and actually hit Quavo instead? Do you think that would have a different impact on how the reaction is?
No, I think the reaction would still be the same. I think, I think the good people. I think the good people. Unfortunately, like the good people are the ones who get hit with the strays. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? Like the good people are, and with Takeoff, like I heard he's a good dude. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna sit up here in front again and be like, "Yo, I was all into their music," because I mean I really wasn't. You know what I'm saying? But I knew who they were. I knew enough of them, and I knew
Mm-hmm.
what they did and what they changed, how they changed the culture. Right? They
Yeah.
changed hip hop in a way to where it was the triplet flows that
Yeah.
came in. Now, when it first came in, I wasn't a fan of it. I was like, what the fuck? Like this shit's
Mm-hmm.
changing up. Like what the fuck is going on?
Mm-hmm.
So, I think if it would have hit Quavo, um, I think it still would have been the same. I think it still would have been the same outcome. But I got a question to tell back to you. Do you think it would have been any different? Or if it would have been, do you think it would have been an outcry if the bullet just hit somebody random? That's where we at.
I think it would just be like a sub headline. It wouldn't be the
Yep,
headline like on
exactly.
TMZ. It wouldn't be on like pretty much any news outlet that you're on. If you just type in
Right.
Migos on Google, you got boom,
It's
boom, boom,
there.
boom, boom, boom. But I
It's
bet you
there.
if it was like Migos at the scene where a bystander gets killed, that's probably like
Mm,
maybe one or two articles, like a
right.
brief overview of what happened,
Yeah.
but nothing like to the extreme where like a celebrity gets hit.
Yeah. And see, that's where I'm at, right? That's where I'm at. That's the fucked up part. Is
Yeah.
that we're not even thinking on a level, we're not even thinking on a level of innocent bystanders and innocent people who get killed every day, right? Because they're not a celebrity, there's no outcry, there's no outpour. Just another person who got killed. But when it becomes a celebrity, or when it becomes someone that's important to the culture or whatever, it becomes bigger than what it is. And now it's time to stop it. Now it's time to look at the shit and try to change something around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something that I was also thinking before we shot this episode. I had to tell you a story.
Oh, hit me.
When I was younger, when I was younger in grade school,
Back in
um,
my day.
yeah, back in my day, right? Exactly. Back in my day, okay, when I was in elementary school, right? I was so infatuated with guns at a young age that this is how far I went in the stint of trying to have something that looked like a gun. Okay. So back in the day, they had guns. They still do, right? But back in the day, they had guns that cock back, 9 millimeter Beretta, the cop issue one. And then it cocked back like a real gun. You know what I'm saying? And so my dumbass, I was I had shop. I had shop class. And at the time I was building what do you call it? The fucking cars. Uh the little wooden cars that you race up and down. You know what I'm talking about? I don't
Yeah.
know what they're called, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You got the little wooden cars that you build and you're trying to race them. You're competing against your classmates,
Oh,
right?
nice.
So I didn't, fuck the car. Fuck the car, okay? I built the car, but fuck the car. I was more infatuated with this gun, right? And this gun was bright fucking orange. Okay. So if I pulled it out, you knew it was a toy.
Yeah.
Okay. If I pull this shit out, you knew it was a toy. But what I decided to do is I decided to steal a can of spray paint, black, and I go in the back of my school and I start spray painting the shit out of this gun. Spray the one side down, spray the other side down. I'm spraying on top of cardboard so I don't leave any evidence. I'm being as slick as I can be. Okay, but tell you how
Get a little
fucking like
contact high.
probably, but tell you how the adolescent in me is, right?
Yeah.
I spray both of these sides of the gun down, right? The gun is totally black, okay? But I'm by my school and I have to get home. So what do? I grab the wet gun like this between my hands, little kid, okay, backpacking off, the wet gun. I'm thinking nobody's watching, nobody's looking outside, okay? I'm holding this gun like this, and I'm gonna let it air dry, okay?
Mm-hmm.
On my way home.
On your way home.
On my way home. I'm walking. So I'm letting this shit air dry. And as the shit is air drying, I'm like, hell yeah, anybody fuck with me, I'm about to pull this shit out. And yeah, it's gonna be a situation. You know what I mean? No bullets, no nothing. I just want to scare you.
Yeah.
I just want to scare a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Because I was tired of getting fucked with. Okay. I'm walking home and I'm holding onto this gun. And shit, within I'd say 10 minutes of me walking, police pulls up.
No shit.
Freeze, get on the ground, yada yada.
Oh,
they
shit.
pull out they pull out their guns. Okay. I'm still holding this shit and I'm holding it like this. And I'm like, right. Well, let me give you context too, because I didn't tell you where I was at, right? I said elementary school, but I didn't say I was in Minnesota, New Brighton. Okay. If you know anything about Minnesota and you know anything about the city of New Brighton, in my day, okay, where we go back, it's whiter than a motherfucker out there. It's white.
It's not because of the snow.
It's not because of the snow. It's white than a motherfucker. So my black ass with a black gun, I'm finna stand out, okay, like a fucking sore thumb. So within 5 to 10 minutes, these officers pull up. They're like, freeze, yada yada yada, you know, drop the gun. And I'm still trying to explain to them, no, it's fake. It's fake. It's a prop gun. It's fake. I spray painted it. You know, I'm trying to explain or whatever the case may be. I say all that to say this. Fast forward to today's time, I would have got blown the fuck away.
Oh, yeah.
Quick. They wouldn't even give me a chance to fucking explain. Yeah. But the thought process in my young head was guns are cool, guns are sexy, guns are attractive, guns will help me fucking fight off my people that, you know what I'm saying, that's fucking with me at school. I can scare somebody, what have you. Whatever was going on in my head at the time is what I decided to do, not really knowing the real fucking ramifications of what I was actually doing. And I say all of that because in this society, guns are cool. Real guns are fucking cool.
Yeah.
Riding down the block, spraying that shit up, fucking shooting in the air, spraying at the ops. That shit is cool right now.
And what do you think is causing it?
Honestly, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to hold myself accountable. I'm going to hold the rest of the world accountable too. Because when we think about this situation with Takeoff, right? The one thing that came to mind was when I was listening to social media and stuff like that, the one thing that came to mind was like everybody was pointing fingers and blaming. Oh, this, you know what I'm saying? He shouldn't have been there 2-3 o'clock in the morning. It was this person who was riding with him. Everybody else didn't have guns. Somebody had a gun. You know, it wasn't over a dice game, because that's what the headline was. It was over a dice game at a bowling alley at 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay, regular shit that regular people do. Okay, I know I've been to a bowling alley at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I probably wasn't in no dice games, but I definitely was bowling. Real shit, real shit. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't in no dice game. You know what I'm saying? I could shoot craps all day, but I was, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't there at the bowling alley doing that shit. I probably would have been at, you know what I'm saying, the fam's house doing that shit or whatever
Yeah.
the case may be. But okay, that's the story. That's the headline. Okay. So everybody's coming up with their conclusion and what they, you know, what they feel like this is what happened, this is what it is, or whatever the case may be. It shouldn't have happened this way, or whatever the case. But the one thing that stuck in my head is I was just like, I blame us. We did this shit. It's
Yeah.
nobody, no, we got to point the finger at our own selves, right? So when you ask me that question, it goes for me, I'm gonna say it's the music, it's the movies, it's everything that we are addicted to.
Mm.
And we are addicted to drama and fucking violence of
Yeah.
any sort. That's why Jeffrey Dahmer is being talked about as the number one fucking thing that was streamed about 2 weeks ago. Everybody couldn't stop talking about Jeffrey Dahmer.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We are a society that is addicted to violence.
Preach,
I blame
man.
us.
That's so true.
I blame
And it,
us.
yeah, I would definitely, it's definitely the pop culture now, more so than like when, like I hear stories of my uncles and my dad and like when they
Mm-hmm.
were growing up,
Mm-hmm.
and they grew up in the 70s. They were kids.
Yep.
And that's when like shit would go down. You know, shit would go down. There'll be race kind of battles and stuff,
Yep.
but it would
Yep.
never got to the extent where people are pulling out guns, semi-automatics, and just
Right.
blasting fools. You know what I
Right.
mean? Unless you're like in a gang, which like
Even
to a
even
certain
still
to a certain
then.
point.
Yeah, even still then, because of what was going on in the 50s and the 60s, right? Between blacks and whites, we
Hmm.
had got to a point. We had got to a point where by the 70s, I'll say, that the shit had kind of calmed down.
Yeah,
When the 80s rolled around, I mean,
the the
crack
ho-
crack
the
rolled in
the crack, the coke, and then Tony
and the
Montana.
money.
Don't I
Yeah,
think you have a do you have a Scarface poster behind you? I think you do, right?
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, right
right
here.
there.
Right
Yeah, the
here. Yeah,
Scarface, and
yeah.
then that like
Goodfellas
that
in the back of me.
like you
Yeah.
said, yeah, and then I think that they saw like so Hollywood saw how attractive that kind of like lifestyle, that persona that attracted a lot of viewership,
Yeah.
and then they ran away with that. You know what I mean? Then like you started seeing more mafia movies, you started seeing more gore come out
Mhm.
where now blood is coming out where like the camera will show the dead body with half their skull missing after
Right.
they get shot. You know
Right.
what I mean? Now it's starting to get to that point where in the 80s they didn't really see too much of that. Definitely not in the 70s. Like the Cinemax started becoming like the cinema started becoming bigger. I would say like in the late 80s, early 90s, and then before you know it, the graphics started coming in, and then that's
Mhm.
where like what you were saying is that's where the thrill, the action
Yep.
really attracted the regular civilian because they're able to like lose consciousness of where they're at and then focus in
Mhm.
on the drama of the
On what's
movie,
happening.
on what's
Right.
happening. But
Yeah.
in reality, what's happening is
Mhm.
their brain is just recording all of that stuff, you know what I
Yep.
mean? And subconsciously, sometimes those different thoughts or actions get released. And then now you
Absolutely.
fast forward, this is late 80s, early 90s. Now you fast
Mhm.
forward to now where we're at now is progressed to the certain point where like all these rap songs, I love hip hop, bro. And
Me too.
I
Me
always
too.
get made fun of by my family and friends because I love like the early 2000s, the 90s, the
Okay,
early
so you like the Nellies
2010s,
and the Wu-Tang was in the
Wu-Tang,
90s.
Method Man,
Pop, Big.
Redman,
Yeah,
DMX,
yeah, yeah.
Exhibit, you know,
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah,
Tupac,
yeah.
and then like,
No, yeah, the West
yeah,
Coast. Yeah, yeah,
all of
yeah, yeah.
them, bro. So
Okay,
it's like
okay.
Ludacris was one of my favorite. Fabulous, underrated in my
Oh,
opinion.
yeah.
Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's where like I really love those that hip hop, which
Mhm.
there was some violence in it, you
It
know.
was.
But
It
now
was.
like and to what you said earlier with Migos, what they did, they introduced a new style of rapping, but
Mhm.
also a new like theme to rapping,
Yeah.
which was coined by a few rappers before their time as well.
Right.
But it's like
You got Bone and shit that did that
you
too.
hear these lyrics. Sometimes I'm driving and I'm listening. I'm like, damn, this is some violent ass music. You know what I mean?
It's either that or some suspect shit. Like
Yeah, like
sus as fuck. Like you like, wait. Fuck him in his ass, throw him over a brick. Well, hold on, Biggie. What the fuck you talking about right now?
Oh man, I know, dude.
Look,
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but
and
look,
then what it is they right away they tribute to like, you look at me the wrong way, I'm gonna shoot you. Or you do this, I got my gun, I got my goons who are gonna shoot you.
it don't
I
even
got my
be that
crew
now.
who's gonna come and kill you. Like, it's all about killing. And then I was listening to the baby the other day. I'm like, damn, dog.
Oh yeah.
Like, he has a song talking about how he loves his Glock. It's
Yeah.
like, damn, bro. Like,
That's what I said. The fantasization of weapons in guns and shit. But look, here's some trippy shit, bro. Here's some trippy shit. Have you ever wondered why fucking Hollywood just keeps recreating movies now?
because they're running out of material. I don't know.
It's because the gore and the violence, the hood shit.
You're right.
It's happening.
Dog, it sells,
It's
bro.
happening right
Bottom
now.
line, it
You don't
sells.
have the fucking ideas.
Yeah.
It's happening right now in front of you. You don't gotta go to the movies to see the shit. You can literally go outside and see whatever it is right then
Yeah.
and there.
Yeah. If you go in certain neighborhoods, yeah, you go in there and
It
you'll
don't even gotta be certain
yeah, you don't
neighborhoods
gotta go to the
anymore.
movies.
Because it don't even gotta be certain neighborhoods anymore.
Yeah, you're actually
because
you're right about that.
there's people that are committing crimes or committing acts of violence in some of the wealthiest neighborhoods. And
Yeah.
it goes back into some shit that Pac said. He said that, and I'm going back to Pimp a Butterfly when he was talking to Kendrick. And he said that he feels like the poor is just going to swallow the wealthy. Like, we tired of fucking being poor. So
Mhm.
now you see that the lines are being blurred between a good neighborhood and, oh, this shit won't happen here,
Yeah.
to goddamn, that shit. Did you see what they just did? And we
Yeah.
live right down the street. You understand what I'm saying? The lines is being blurred. It's just getting out of hand,
Yeah.
bro.
And like
It's
you
getting
said, like,
way
it
out
will
of hand.
happen in these neighborhoods, and like that night it may be like everyone stops, right, and pauses, gets cleaned up. The next day is like moving on,
Right,
moving
nothing ever
on.
happened.
Is like,
Yeah,
because
what's next?
it's happening too often where it's just
Yeah,
overwhelming, like you
yeah,
said.
yeah.
And
I mean,
I
the
can
last
only
time we
imagine.
fucking talked, which would what, a couple months, month and a half.
Yeah, about a month ago.
We was just talking about PNB Rock.
Yeah,
I
dude.
mean,
It's
yeah,
just
like you
happening.
said,
But what I was trying to allude to though is like all
so
these rappers are bringing out like, yo, you look at me or you confront me, it's gonna be a murder scene. Instead of like, let's throw hands. Dog. What happened to fucking throwing hands, bro? You know what I
nothing
mean?
happened to it. Nothing happened to throwing
People
hands. But look, in most
people right
situations,
away will just pull out their
look,
gun and shoot, dude.
in most situations, bro, I'm gonna tell you, even in the situation that happened on Halloween with Takeoff, bro, them niggas was there and they was trying to break the fight up.
Oh, really?
They was trying to break the fight up.
Oh man.
It wasn't even they fight. They was trying to break the fight up. And there's
Damn.
another rapper, I can't remember his name, same situation. He was trying to break a fight up backstage or something like that, and he ended up getting stabbed in his fucking neck.
Oh man.
Yeah. So it's not even, I'll bring it to your doorstep at this point. You know what I'm saying? Or I'll
Yeah.
bring it to you, or let's box. It ain't even that no more. It's literally just bystander shit. Like, if you in the wrong place, the wrong time,
Yeah.
and it's time for you to get called home, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Then it is what it is. That's why I said, man, I really feel like with all the shit that's just constantly happening, and I go back to what we talked about before, and I'm gonna bring it up again, but I really feel like this shit is a video game. But it also goes into what I was telling you before in regards to like the technology. You know what I'm saying? That's why like I say I blame us. I blame us because we are the consumers of the technology. And here's the fucked up part. We are in a society now where we will literally pull out our phones and film someone dying before we actually aid or go to help. So this is what was, I don't want to say it was trending, but the people who were filming this shit, they literally posted that shit on Twitter, and it went
Damn.
from there. They were
Yeah.
posting this man dying on Twitter. So it's wolves out here, man.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Anything for clout, bro.
man, anything for a fucking like or a heart.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But
Damn, boy, why can't we just go back to the old days where, you know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
or like
I'll
you
give a
actually
whore
will
for
try
your
to,
likes.
yeah, where you actually try to help people, dog. Like
Yeah, man.
it's to the point where they're so consumed by their own image, and they're like,
Exactly.
this is breaking news.
Right.
I
I'm
can
about to
break
get
it.
clout.
I
I'm
can
about to be
break
the
this.
first motherfucker.
Instead of like as a human instinct, like, dude, this person is dying. Let me use this phone to call for help, or let me help that person.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
the same thing goes like a few years ago. There was I live in Orange County. There was a
Okay.
bar in Orange County where this girl photobombed this this group of girls that were taking a picture outside of a bar, and
Yeah.
it's like during nighttime and stuff. And the girls that got photobombed didn't know the girl that photobombed it. She was just like they're
Mm-hmm.
all standing in line and waiting to get inside the bar,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't like it too much, and they started beating her, bro. Even their boyfriend started coming in and beating her. So you're talking about like 3 people, 4 people beating this woman, just beating her up, boom, 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 boom.
Just for a fucking
And
photobomb.
and the video is sad because you see a bunch of people in line like circling around what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, nobody's like trying to like jump in and fight the other people off because they don't want to get their ass kicked. Which where's her crew at? You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
But they end up filming while this woman is she got beat to death, like literally right before their very eyes. And I'm talking about there's probably like 40, 50 people watching, and not one person jumped in to say like, yo, that's enough, you know what I mean, like leave her alone
Right.
or anything like that.
Right.
And it's because everyone's busting out their phones watching what's going on. I'm not jumping in, but like at what point do you stop and say, where's the point of humanity coming in where
Humanity.
we
Yeah. Right. Right.
look out for each other?
Yeah.
Nah, it's
Exactly.
about myself only.
Yep.
And that's going back to what we talked about before, where the selfish nature of
Absolutely.
us humans, we only care about ourselves. And if it's
If it's
them
going to
or
be in a
us,
benefit of us.
yeah, if it's them or us, well, I'm not gonna put myself in harm.
Right.
But if I could benefit from this, I'll try to benefit from it.
Mm-hmm.
Even to a
Mm-hmm.
point where somebody's dying, I'm gonna try to benefit from it.
Yeah.
Even though it's a catastrophic event that you're witnessing, which you're gonna have trauma from, you're over there
Mm-hmm.
not even trying to help them. Like, I don't know, like how are you gonna confront God on your judgment day? Like, yo, dude, that person that died right next to you that you were filming, what did you do?
I'm
I
finna. I'm
pulled out my
finna.
phone.
I'm finna even go even further. I'm finna even go even further than that. How can, let's see, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. Okay? These are the top 5 motherfuckers. They have walls set in place,
Mm-hmm.
right? For you to be able to do certain shit. Okay.
Yeah.
So why is it designed this way? It's not, it is human nature, but it's also these companies too, right? So let me give you an example. So at a certain amount of followers or a certain amount of likes, I'm able to live stream, or I'm able to maybe sell a product. And I'm just talking about strictly YouTube, right? So you're able to sell a product or, sell merch on your page when you get to a certain threshold of
Mm,
followers and subscribers and people's what have you, right? So that's what creates that type of behavior. Oh shit,
absolutely.
this is going to get me popping. And then, like you said, then it goes into the benefit of themselves and this, that, and the third. It's a lottery mentality. It is a lottery mentality. Now, this is a once in a lifetime fucking thing. I'm going to capture this on film. I'm gonna pop as the person who captured this on the film, and my likes are gonna go up, my followers are gonna go up. This is gonna open up so much for me. Fuck the person that's going through this shit. This is gonna help me, right? So
Yeah.
it goes back into that selfish mentality. But if these walls wasn't put in place, and we would be just able to use the app like we want to use the app, right? Whether it be I want to do a live stream or I want to, sell my merchandise. If we're able to do that from the giddy up, from the time we log into this app, and I understand that there's development and stuff like, there's updates and stuff to make things better. I get that. But do you feel like if we're able to have these things readily at our fingertips, that it would slow down some of the competition or the psyche of trying to compete to be the best or be the first or be number one or get the most likes, and you know what I'm saying? Because that's what creates this mentality of not wanting to help out someone. It's I'm going after the clout first.
Mm.
Then after I get the clout, I might help you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think, like, honestly, I understand what you're saying and how, like, some of the algorithms help promote that rat race mentality. Like, I got to
Hmm.
be there first.
Yep.
But it was developed by who? Another human who's obviously
Sure.
studying the analytics of who's using these applications, and they're
Hmm.
able, to your point, have these updates over time. Like when
Right.
Facebook first came out in 2009, 2008,
Yeah.
it wasn't what Facebook is now, and same
It
thing
it
with everything
really isn't.
else.
Right.
And the intention behind all of it is that they're trying to find new ways. These developers are trying to find new innovative ways to get people more and more engaged and invested into these applications. And I
Right.
think what it comes from is, like, they know how to tug on those different desires that us humans want, that are just
Absolutely.
natural users. And the
Hmm.
developers are able to, like, all right, let's calculate this. The analytics show that they like this more. They like
Hmm.
this over the last month. This is a bug that we can introduce to help increase more engagement, and then more engagement, and then before you know it, it just gets worse and worse and worse. And us as users on the front end are like, oh, look at this, oh, look at that. And then subconsciously we start living our lives around what you were saying, like
Yep.
trying to be that first one to break it, that clout, all that
Hmm.
breaking stuff that I want to be able to post so everyone can see that I did it. You know what I mean?
What do you think a world looks like without social media at
Oh,
all?
bro, I think it looks a lot slower.
I
You
didn't know.
know,
I think you was gonna go there first.
yeah,
Okay,
a lot
explain.
slower.
Okay.
Number one, and then I'll touch back on that point,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then just a lot more. I want to say not humble, but like more just like people that are just more authentic. I would say it's just
More
like the
real.
authenticity, the realness
Mm.
will be more available.
I like that. I like
Because
that. I like that. Okay.
slower, because like we were just talking
Right.
about the rat race, everyone's
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
chasing it, dog. It's like
Yeah.
I'm off
Everybody.
the grid. So I'm off the grid. If you try to find me, you won't find me. I have a YouTube and I have a LinkedIn. That's the only ones I have. But
Yeah.
I'm not on Twitter. I'm not on TikTok. None of that. So you won't catch me
Mhm.
dancing. You won't catch me tweeting. You know, Facebooks. No, my grandma doesn't even see my posts no more because I deleted all that shit.
But
And
look, I'm
and
on all the social medias. You can catch me
wait,
dancing
wait.
from Monday through Friday, 9 to 5
No,
a.m.
but it's good. But it's good because you're using it as a platform that's to, like,
Yeah,
really help spread awareness on things, like
absolutely.
especially what you're wearing right there, the clothing brand.
Yeah,
That's an impact on the community in a positive, like in a positive fashion, which is great, dude. That's what social media was intended for.
right.
And what the way it is in reality now is that, like, just everyone's just absorbed into themselves, bro.
You know
And
where it's going. Not to cut you off. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
oh, dude, I was gonna tell you a little story about why I fucking cut that shit out.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. I
So,
think that'll
dude,
be better than the point that I was getting ready to make.
yeah, dog. So when, because you know how like one of the updates a few years ago, I cut it out in 2020. I made a point of emphasis on my birthday. After my birthday, I'm gonna go clean. I'm gonna like rehab, clean myself out from this social media fix that I'm trying to do every day.
Yeah.
So I was on my phone, and then right before I went to sleep one night, if you swipe left on your phone, it gives you that little like breakdown of how much time you spend on the apps and stuff.
Oh yeah. The time shit.
So
Okay,
the
yeah,
time,
yeah.
yeah, how
Apple
much time you
introduced that a
spend on your
couple,
on your
like,
phone.
5 years ago, something like that. 2, 3, 4,
Yeah,
5 years
yeah.
ago.
So
Yeah,
I
mental
like
math.
before I went to sleep, I swiped left on accident. Like, oh shit, on my lock screen. And I look, I'm like, I spent 2.5 hours today on Instagram, which for some
Looking
of you
at
out
them
there, you're probably
buns.
yeah. For some of you guys out there, you're like, those are rookie numbers.
Looking at them buns.
Oh man.
Hey, I
But
do it
I
too,
was
bro.
like,
I do it too.
I was on Instagram. I'm like 2.5 hours. No, just going through the
Mhm,
feeds, bro.
mhm.
And I'm like 2.5 hours out of how much time I spend at work. How much time do I get to myself after showering, going to the gym, whatever? Like I'm like, I spent a lot of my own personal time just scrolling through what, and then I thought about, I'm like, what was I scrolling through? And like you said, it's just random shit, entertainment, and about people's lives that honestly I could care less about. So I'm like, I need to make a change. Dog. I could be reading articles, I could be reading for me the Bible, I could be reading different books to enhance my knowledge rather than just like go brain dead scrolling my life away. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm like,
Yep.
if I were to die tomorrow, if they asked me in the afterlife, how did you spend your life? And I'm like, I spent half of the day every day on Instagram. I was like, that's a terrible answer, dog. So I'm like, you know what? I need to cut this shit out. So I fucking went cold turkey. At first, it was an adjustment. At
Yeah.
first, like you
It
all
always
do it
is because you're
when
addicted.
when you're on the toilet. Everyone's doing their business on the toilet, and
Yep.
that's where the
And
fucking
scrolling.
phone comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, when I first hit on the good old Johnson, the first day of not doing it, I'm like, I went through right away. My brain went for the habit of like scroll to the right. I know where the app is gonna be. Press on the app, and I scrolled, and I'm like, oh shit, the app is no longer there. And I paused for a little bit, like, oh shit, this is different. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I don't have Instagram to look through. I don't have Facebook to go through. Just scroll while I'm taking my deuce. You know what I mean?
Right.
Okay. So then before you know it, over time, recreate new habits. Now I'm doing other shit while I'm taking a shit. Doing other shit while I'm taking a shit.
Right.
But it's like, dude, now I feel like it honestly was refreshing to know that I'm not just worrying about posting where I'm at, focusing on like, oh, is this person liking this shit?
Right.
Or you know what I
You're
mean? It's
not in
like
the rat race no
because
more.
before you know it is because you're kind of in that fog, and you guys were talking about that and with your last guest of how
Yep.
sometimes when you're invested or involved in something so closely that there's a fog around you where you're not like
You
looking
can't
clearly
see.
where if you don't take a step back. And
Yeah.
by like going detoxing myself, I took a step back and I looked, I'm like, damn, like, man, I was part of them, you know what I mean? Like taking
Yep.
selfies, I'm just self-absorbed. Like you become self-absorbed, you know what I mean? And then you try to post with, like the nicest clothes, you get fresh clothes, and you're fucking posting with your jewelry and shit. And
Yeah.
it's like, that's not even who I am.
It's
You know
not.
what I mean?
It's
It's like,
not.
is my personality come out on these pictures? I'm like,
Not
that's
at
not who I
all.
am. And
Not at
I
all.
can say that's 90% of the motherfuckers using that damn app.
Look, let me counter your story. All right. First of all, before I get into the story, I'm gonna explain to a lot of people. I'm gonna open people's minds if you haven't even heard this shit, right? TikTok. What does it mean? The app.
The
Have you ever
clock. A clock ticking on the wall, bro.
wasting time?
Yep.
Tick tock, right? Okay. So at first, I really didn't understand what the fuck it was about. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't something that I was into. It was something that my daughter was into. She was doing the dances and shit. She came from Musically. If you guys didn't know a little bit of history, TikTok used to be Musically switched over to TikTok. Okay.
Mm.
Now, my daughter was on this You know what I mean? And I was like, I followed her and paid attention to what she was doing and stuff like that. Okay. That's generally what I had got into it for. I was like, whatever. You're doing your thing on on the internet, whatever. You know what I'm saying? As long as it's clean, we good.
Yeah.
So I can't even remember what day it was or when this phenomenon happened inside of me. Okay. But one day I pick up my phone and I start scrolling through TikTok. Okay. All right.
They got you.
And I gotta be real here. Ass start popping on the thing. But wait, it gets better. All right. Ass and titties start popping on the app, right? So I stop and I start to watch it more. I'm like, oh, I ain't gotta go to Pornhub. I could just go right here. I could just, you know what I mean? I could just get my fix right here for the day. You know what I mean? I could just watch the shit here. And so the more time I was spending watching these girls bouncing that ass, titties, showing off their bodies, the more I was getting excited to go back to this app.
Mhm.
So that's initially what hooked me in. Okay.
Yeah. Sex sells.
As time goes on, my mind starts to do a trick on me to where, and mind you, now my oldest daughter, she tells me, well, the reason why, she's like, why is your TikTok like that? Why is it nothing but girls on your TikTok? And I'm like, I don't know. I pick my shit up and I start scrolling, not knowing, dummy, is because you're the one that's sitting on these videos. So the algorithm is feeding it to you.
Mhm.
You like that? Oh, okay. We're gonna keep sending it to you.
Yeah.
So I'm hooked in because of that moment, right? I know the answer, but it's my daughter. I don't want to have that conversation with her, so I play dumb and say I don't know. Okay. So look, as time goes on, I'm having a discussion with my friend, right? And I'm explaining to him all that I see on these apps. And I'm like, yo, man, there's this girl on here, man. She hot as fuck, like da 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 da. I'm going through, you know what I'm saying? I'm explaining to him what I'm seeing. I'm like, you got to get on TikTok, bro. I'm like, God damn, man, there's some baddies on there. Woo! God damn, they showing everything. I'm so excited as I'm telling him. And he's like you. He's off the grid. He doesn't fuck with it, the social media and none of that. You know what I mean? But he keeps up to date on current events. He knows what's going on. So when I go and talk to him about something, he knows what's going on.
Yeah.
But he's not on any of the social media apps, right? So as I'm explaining this to him, like, like this is what's going on, this is what's happening, da 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 da. And we're talking, and a light bulb goes off in my head. And I start to say, I mean, the girls' asses is fat on there, you know what I'm saying? But like, yo, some of the girls got nails and this, that, and the third. Like, yo, like, how's they wiping their ass? And so it sends me down this rabbit hole. I'm like, yo, the girl who popping that ass, it probably stinks. Her boobs is probably sweaty. They probably stink. Bitch, you stink. You know what I'm saying? So this is how my mind starts to click. And it starts to be like, if I see a bad chick on there, I'm sitting there like, yo, you probably ain't showered in like 2 days.
Oh.
But you making a video bouncing that ass. And if you go in the comments of this video, that's all you fucking see is dudes drooling on, oh damn, baby, you hot as fuck. Oh my God, like please hit me up. Da 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 da. And it flips into OnlyFans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because some of these girls, they have their OnlyFans links at the top of these TikToks. And I'm not gonna lie and sit here and be like, I didn't go to some of the motherfucking some of the OnlyFans. I went to go look. I went to go see what it was all about.
You gotta investigate.
I gotta investigate. Right? So I go and I search and I find and I start looking at this shit. And I'm like, damn. And these girls have it set up to where it's a pay blocker, right? You gotta pay to go inside to see what you're trying to see. So fuck Pornhub, because Pornhub is free. Okay. Fuck Pornhub when you can see everyday average girls doing what they would do on Pornhub. It's a sick thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm addicted to porn. I'll be fucking with porn. Okay, I gotta put this shit out there. You know what I'm saying? It was gonna come out one episode or two. It's gonna come out. You know what I'm saying? But but I start to go down this rabbit hole where I start to think like that. Like every time I would see a beautiful girl, and this is in reality too. Every time I see a beautiful girl, or every time I see a girl on Instagram, or you know what I'm saying, or something like that, I start to think like, man, how clean are you? Does your pussy stink? Like I start to ask these questions in my own head. It was
Yeah.
no longer about the fact that it was a beautiful girl there, and she was showing all of her goods, and then it started to go into, well, if you're doing that there and I'm fantasizing about you, well, you're showing every fucking thing and you're
Yeah.
not gonna stop.
Mhm.
So even if I did have you, like I would be trying to get you to stop because I want the shit for me because I'm selfish like that. You know what I mean? I want the shit for me. Okay, I seen you
Oh
here, and
shit.
it goes into the ideology of this the trick that is paying for the woman at the fucking strip club.
Yeah.
It's the same
The
ideology,
same
right?
thing.
You get the girl out of the club and you want her to stop, but this has been her way of life for however long it's been.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I say all of that to say, like, after a while of me thinking like this, and I can't be the only person out there in the world that start to really analyze what the fuck I was seeing on
Mhm.
my feed of TikTok, right? So now my TikTok is more business driven and how to fucking get more followers and shit like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's more strategized now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's more boring now to where it's not it's not a whole lot going on. My value went down. Let me make
Oh
sure it
yeah.
goes back up.
Now it's definitely they use
Okay.
they use it as
Uh,
a tool. These women are
yeah,
using it as a tool too, where they're no longer just like strippers, but now they're
right.
porn stars because they're making
Man,
money off of doing
off
some
the internet.
crazy ass shit, dog.
Right.
They're even selling farts in
Yeah,
jars and like
man.
selling
And I
clothing,
think
and these guys
I
are
think
buying it, dog.
I
There's
think
some weird motherfuckers
I
out there.
think that's when the light bulb went off for me. When it was motherfuckers selling fucking used panties. Um, I'm not bullshitting you. I'm not bullshitting you. It's motherfuckers buying like
Toenail
used
clippings.
panties, toenail clippings, fucking feet finder. I found out about feet finder. Like it's so much shit out there that motherfucking guys are willing to pay for. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And they're all addicted too. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? This is a
Yep.
generation of addicted, violence fueled motherfuckers
Oh,
out here.
dude.
Like
It's because
it's
it's so
crazy.
accessible, bro. It's
It,
so
it is. It's
accessible.
so easy to get. It's
And
it's
it's
so easy
like,
to get to.
and it, you know what it is? Like, it's so fast that some of these different actions that take place, we're not thinking it all the way through. And I think
We're
you talked
not.
about this,
We're not.
talked about this on the last episode too with your guest, how like sometimes we just don't think shit through. And with the speed of light coming at in the palm of our hands, we're seeing porn in one screen. We could go see fucking guns on another screen. We could see a dead
Right.
body in the next screen. So like, if we're ever in a similar instance, we're not thinking through the consequences or what can happen. You know what I mean? It's just a
Hell
matter
no.
of like, fucking, I'll deal
Fuck it.
with it later.
There.
Yeah, I'll deal
Yeah,
with it
it's
later.
there, and whatever else happens after that, I'm gonna
But
I'm gonna I'm
it's
gonna give it some attention for 3 to 5 minutes, and then after
yeah,
that,
and it's
I'm gonna
me
go
me
about my
mentality
business, and that
first. It's
shit is
like, well,
normal.
I want to do this, so I'm gonna do it. You know, and like before you know it, you're like, where are your morals? You know what I mean? Some of these girls, you're like, fuck, dude. Like you said, you're a baddie.
Man,
You could be wiped up, but nah, you have
but nah, I'm
like
making
look what
way
you're
too
doing
much
on the
money.
internet. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm making way too much money here to fucking go anywhere else. And again, I think some of these women's thought is why why would I go for the fairy tale? Fuck the fairy tale when I'm winning right now.
yeah,
Yeah, let me say that again. Fuck the fairy tale when I'm winning right now.
yep,
And again, it goes back into what we were told,
yeah,
right? So see, we full circle. I knew we were gonna get here, and it's how we were told, how we've been introduced to shit, and how we were told one way. But then when you get older, when you really start to analyze shit and you get a little wisdom, I guess, you start to really think about what it is that you're being spoon fed, what it is that you're seeing, right? Because as a little guy and as a little girl, we were told the fairy tale.
Yeah.
You know, you get your Prince Charming, you get a house, you get 2.5 kids, you get you
However
get
you can get
the
that.
house and the picket fence,
Yep.
and now I think people are looking at the fairy tale like fuck the fairy tale.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm winning in this certain part of life,
Yeah.
why do I need the fairy tale? The
The
fairy tale was a
shortcut.
lie,
Yeah. Let me get that shortcut, that fast track, real quick.
man. The
But
shit was a
which
lie,
is cool. Like, hey, I respect everyone doing their grind. Like, don't get me wrong, these girls are able to use this platform, make money off of it, and they're
right?
not getting touched or anything. Like,
Right.
it's better than a strip club. But
That's
at the
very
same
true.
time, same time, like you said, what happens long term? Like, are you thinking all the way through? Like, are you using that money, investing it? I highly doubt majority of them are. You know what I
Highly
mean?
doubt it.
Are
Highly
they
doubt it.
the Rihanna mentality where they're like, let me go fucking build a brand and do this shit with these millions of dollars that I'm making?
Right.
But it's like it's that fast life that we're all seeing in the palm of our hands through these
Mm-hmm.
apps, through these TVs, through technology that's making us say like, you know what? I want to live that life. And sometimes it's going to go against what I believe in because I know,
Yep.
like, to your point, let me fast track this fucking fairy tale. Fuck the fairy tale. Let me just hit and win right now. And
Yep.
then what happens is once you get a glimpse, you want more. And then once
Mm-hmm.
you get more, you want even more. And, and
Mm-hmm.
that just becomes, and then you start becoming just so involved and just overwhelmed with all of it. And then you can't get out. You know what I mean? Now
Right.
you're just stuck,
You're
and
stuck
then
in.
one day it's gonna catch up. One day it will
Absolutely.
catch up.
You got to keep feeding the beast. You
Yeah.
got to keep feeding the beast. I'm a true and an avid believer in that. Um, and it was said one other time that when you post your wins, you got to keep doing it again and again.
Yeah.
You don't get to win once and that's it.
Yeah.
Again, we're all stuck in this lottery mentality
Mm-hmm.
that we win once, we win big once, and then everything is fine after that. And even to the point where I know we talked about porn, we talked about girls, but even to the point where I started thinking on another level too in regards to the lottery, right? So the lottery is the biggest that has ever been in history. The lottery is at $1 billion.
Damn.
1 billion. And it might be even more than that. I don't know if somebody won. It might be even more
Yeah.
than that. But now somebody asked me if I won the lottery, would I be doing this or in another realm of that, right? What does it look like to win the lottery? So for me, right, I think that my life would get worse if I won the lottery
Why is that?
because the surface level shit that money can fix, it will get fixed. But what the thing that is not shown to you is what the money, if not used properly, can do, right? So, and I'll just give you an example. Let's say I win the billion, right?
The Billy?
Boom, the bill, the billy, I got it. Boom, I'm winning. I won it, right? I take care of all my little monetary shit, all my bullshit. I take care of all of it. It's done. It's over with. It's everything is good. Okay, my ground zero. But my daughter gets sick, and it's something that the money can't fucking cure.
Mm-hmm.
I got all the money in the world, but this shit can't cure that, right? So my daughter gets sick, and again, I'm not wishing this on my daughter at all, but I'm just giving you guys an example. But um, my daughter gets sick. She doesn't get cured. That's one thing that I gotta think about with the money now. I got all this money in the world, but now I lost my daughter, or my wife, or my mom, or you know what I'm saying? Or someone in my family gets hurt real bad. Or flip side of it. Family member gets jealous, friend, family, neighbor, they get jealous.
Yep.
Fuck it, you got the Billy, I want the Billy. You probably spent some of it, but whatever's left, I'm coming for it. So there's that. So now I'm living a paranoid life. I
Yeah.
can't really party like I want to
Mm-hmm.
because I'm paranoid that these people either know that I've won this $1 billion, or or they know at the least that I got some type of money.
Yeah.
So it all ties back into the lifestyle, the rap, the music, the culture, the everything that people are involved. It all ties back. When you got money, and it ties back to fucking what Biggie said. The more money you have, the more problems you have.
Mm-hmm.
And I never understood that because I was just one that just give me the fucking money,
Yeah.
right? Give
Let
me
me
the
deal with the
money,
problems later.
right? The money will work out the problems,
Yeah.
but it's shit that the money can't solve,
Mm-hmm.
shit that you don't see. And yes, it could happen in your broke life as well too.
Yep.
But I'd like to think more on the scale of more money, more problems, and it's problems that the money can't fucking solve.
Oh
So
yeah, absolutely.
even if I went to go win this lottery, or even if I went to go get that type of money, I mean, again, that's why I just said, you know what, it is up to $1 billion. Fuck that shit. Fuck it. I'm okay. I'm
Yeah.
good.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna go run out and go fucking buy a lottery ticket like the rest of everybody else,
No.
because all everybody else is doing is making that pot bigger.
Yep.
You're tossing your money in the well, hoping that your life is going to change. And boy, it's gonna change.
Yeah.
And sometimes
I
it's not always for the better.
It's not. So I got a couple
So,
points. Good stuff, man. One, I don't believe in the fucking lottery, bro. I'm
mm,
in my opinion, that's too much money that the government doesn't have control of, and I don't believe they're gonna.
ooh.
I don't think they're just gonna let somebody win that shit and just pay their
Well, you know
taxes
it's
and
got
walk
to be
away.
taxed. Yeah, that shit is
No, I know
taxed.
that. I know that.
So,
But
they're
I
going
don't
to get
I
some
what
money
I
out of it.
think what I think it is, that money's going into a pot where these politicians are controlling. They hire
Mhm.
somebody, you won the lottery, go
Yeah,
ahead and live your little life. We'll give you a couple, maybe they give them 1 million or whatever, right? To make it seem
okay.
like, and play the whole charades game.
Yeah,
And it's a phony, you know what I mean? Because you think about it. These are after tax dollars going into a pot that everyone thinks that they're gonna have a chance to win.
yep.
If I'm corrupt, which we know a lot of our politicians are, why wouldn't I be like, hold on, that's a big pot
I'm
over
about to
there, a
dip in.
billion,
Right, I'm about to
and
dip
we could
in.
just go ahead and like take that, and
Right. Or
nobody would
fuck,
know
if
who
it
won.
ain't the
Like,
billion, it's the money that came back from the taxes. So I'm gonna dip my hand in the till.
exactly.
I'm
So
gonna go
like
ahead and get my share.
that is the high table right there that is controlling that
Sure,
shit. You know what I mean?
sure.
And like, is there really a winner? Like, I'm sure there's probably the smaller winners, but the big pots, the 1 billion. Do you really believe the government will allow somebody to just take $1 billion that easy just because you hit some numbers? In my opinion, no. That's why I don't play that shit.
So
Because
you
I'm
think?
like,
Wait. Hold on. Let me go back. Let me go back.
open up a can of
You touched
worms
on
right here,
something. Hold on.
baby.
You touched on something. So you think that the person who won, you think the government, um, in so many words, would kill that person or get them
No,
offed?
they
Is that what
hire
you're
they
saying?
hire they hire somebody that's a winner. They'll be like, so like you're
Oh,
you're on camera, you're
okay.
the winner. Yeah, I
Ah,
won. Whoa,
mm,
yeah.
mm.
And I'm the dumb. And they probably pull him from fucking trailer park, who knows, in the middle of fucking
But
Montana.
it's somebody that they
And
can control,
that
is
you
what you're
won.
saying.
And then they just pay him off. Like, we're gonna,
Mm,
like, they pull you into a room. They're like, hey, you're gonna win the
okay.
lottery. I'm gonna win the lottery. Yeah, here's $500,000. You
Yeah,
won the lottery.
yeah.
Pretend like, do the whole tour, all of that shit. We'll
Hmm.
supply the plane that you buy and all that shit, right?
Yeah,
But in
yeah.
reality, all you're getting is this fucking check. The rest of the money that you won,
Hmm.
don't ask about it. That's what I think kind of happens.
But so
And they,
you think the
they let it they
government
let it
will
get to a
supply
certain
them
amount.
with whatever it is that they want, because I mean,
that they want, that
let's
they
be clear.
supposedly
The
want.
government,
They
yeah,
go,
the government owns all of this shit, right?
yeah.
So
They
I'm
bought a
gonna put that
helicopter, they bought
yeah,
a private jet. That's
yeah,
like
yeah.
all for the show, for the camera. You know what I mean? And
Mm,
the more I watch these shows and shit, and you even talked about it in your last podcast, is that you can't believe what's on this shit, dog. The
yeah,
TV is the
yeah.
ultimate
It's
deceiver, bro. It's
yeah.
like
Everybody's got an agenda.
until I know somebody personally that's
Yeah,
fucking hit big mega millions. No, I do believe some people win the lottery. You know what I mean? I worked at a
sure,
bank
sure.
and somebody came in and they cashed a lottery check for $75,000. So I'm
Hmm.
like, oh yeah, 75,000. That's a lot of money. That's somewhat life changing in a way. Like
Right.
to just get
Yeah.
a check for
You could
75K. Hey, fuck,
definitely, yeah, you could
I can
definitely
help
get some
you
shit.
out.
I could do a whole lot with
Yeah,
75,000.
so I believe that person did win. He's a normal person. But when it
Yeah.
gets to the like hundreds and millions of dollars, dog, we got too many greedy officials to just let that like, yo, an ordinary average Joe be part of this club. You know what I mean?
Mm. So you think
But
we all prone to the rat race forever?
do I believe we're prone? It
Yeah, to the
depends,
rat
man.
race.
And like talking about how you said money doesn't solve problems.
It doesn't.
I'm a firm believer. I'm gonna put you on some game right here, real quick. Some philosophy. I'm going
Let's get it.
philosophical.
Let's get it.
Sprinkle
Let's
some of that.
dive. Let's dive deep. Let's go.
Oh, as you know, like I'm a believer in Christ, and it also
Mhm.
says it in the Bible, which I know you haven't read. I know you mentioned it, so I'll get you there one day. I'll get you, but it pretty much says like there's money
Mhm.
in life. You're going to be encountered with two options,
Okay.
two main themes of options that you can choose, which is
Okay.
one overarching option is money, which is
Mhm.
very attractive,
Yep.
and another is love.
Mm.
And there's gonna be a point in everybody's life, and this is what I
Mhm.
believe.
Mhm.
You're gonna go about your life, and there's gonna be a point
Mhm.
where you get to make a decision that's gonna benefit you, and you could choose the path of going towards pursuing that path of money,
Mhm.
or pursue the path of love. It's that Y in the road,
Mhm.
and you can't. They're both going different directions. You
Mhm.
can't create a little bridge. To a
Yeah.
certain degree, you can. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if you
Right.
work
Right.
your
You can have the
normal
money with the
9 to 5,
love,
yeah.
but eventually that shit runs cold.
Whereas, like now, if we're talking
Yeah.
about millions,
Yeah. Yeah.
like that, you're choosing that lifestyle of money rather than love. And that's like to your point, is
Mhm.
if I have all the money in the world, what if I have a family member that's sick?
Yep.
That's gonna bring me down. That's gonna
Right.
bring my emotions down. That's that
You're gonna be
missing
like,
piece of
fuck the
love.
money.
You know what I mean? Or you
Yeah.
can have a huge family, which is
Mhm.
great, but you have
Yep.
kids. How
Yep.
expensive are fucking kids?
Expensive as fuck.
So they're expensive as shit. So it's like choose that lifestyle, or you could choose
Uh-huh.
like I'm gonna be a fucking bachelor and I'm just gonna become a millionaire and I'm gonna be grinding, and you know what?
Mr. Burns.
That's definitely, yeah, Mr. Bird. But you know what? You might end up lonely as fuck. And I
Mhm.
like using the example, even though he has passed, is um Steve Jobs. I'm on an Apple computer
Okay.
right now.
Okay. Yeah. Me and you
That guy
both.
was a multi-billionaire, dog. Like you're talking
Yep.
about multi-billions. You know how
Mhm.
much money multi-billions is?
Yeah,
That's a
you
lot
can't
of
go through
fucking
that
money.
shit.
I think
Yeah.
he was like 80,
That's
80
generational
billion.
wealth times in a lot. So
Yeah. Your family will be well known for
yeah,
fucking a
exactly.
few hundred years.
Forever. Forever, ever.
And he died at what, 53, 54?
Yep.
And that just goes to your point how like money, he had all the money in the world, and I'm sure he had some fucking good doctors,
Hmm.
and
Some of
they're
the
not able
best.
to heal him, bro. Like he had all that money, but his health was lacking.
Yep.
Only if he had his health. And then vice versa. I have my health only if I had money. So it's
Hmm.
like there's always going to be one caveat that we're always like, fuck, if, only if, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? I think that's where, like, in your life, you're going to make a decision. There's going to be a point, and I think everybody understands when that decision is made in their lives where they're
Hmm.
like, I'm going down path A or I'm
Hmm.
going down path B. Which one am I really going to pursue? And I'm not, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to have
Both.
best of both worlds where I'm like, I have
Right.
a loving family, my cousins love me, and I'm a fucking billionaire, like you said, because I'll have some fucking jealous motherfuckers that will try to rip my ass off.
I think it goes to I think it goes to having a little dirt on your name as well too. I think you can walk down both those paths, but just know that you are going to get filthy on one of them. You're going to have a little dirt on your name. I think you can have both, but um, I think also too. I think it comes down to the maturity or maturity. Is that how you say it? Maturity. I think it comes down to the maturity of a person as well too. Are they ready to handle both things? You know what I'm saying? Because you bring up a really good point, right? When I'm talking with my mom, a lot of her conversations geared towards money and what I do with podcast and weird and everything like that. It's geared towards money, right? And I told her that I never did this for money. I
Mhm.
didn't do this because I was looking to try to get rich or, or oh my God, like this is the new thing to jump on or whatever the case may be. Because I knew how that would look. It would just continue, it would have me continually jumping from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing and never really feeling satisfied in what I was actually doing, right? Because I'm a seeker of satisfaction, I'm a seeker of truth, right? So for me, I always just did it because it's an outlet. It's something that I wanted to do,
Yeah.
right? This podcast is something that I wanted to do. It didn't have anything to do with money. I've spent so much money on just equipment and making sure shit was right.
Yeah.
Obviously, the coin was a little low on our last episode. The coin was a little low on our last episode. But no, but real shit. But I'm a seek truth. I'm a truth seeker, and again, I didn't get into this because I was looking for money or looking for wealth. I got into it because this is something that I love to do, and I was seeking the love of other people as well.
Mhm.
Right? I wanted to build a community of like-minded people that we can all feed off of one another, and I'm still in the process of building that, right?
Yeah.
But that's I didn't do it for the money. So I do get satisfaction out of what I'm able to do and how I'm able to talk about things, what I'm able to bring to people, awareness or what have you. But if you really look at all of the shit, right? I'm gonna break down something for everybody because today I'm wearing
Let's
one of my
break it
shirts.
down.
Yeah, I'm wearing one of my shirts, W.E.I.R.D Clothing Company. And someone someone recently asked me, well, what does weird mean? What does that mean? So let me break it down again. I don't think I talk about it enough because I just expect people to see the logo and see the name and just get it. That's in my head. So bad marketing. But weird stands for wonderful, entertaining, interesting, rich dork. And it was a total play off myself. Okay. If you notice everything that I've done, and then we'll go into inconsistently consistent too. Everything that I've done has always been about my life or what I'm going through, right? I might share some stories with you. I might talk about some things, but I know that I'm not the only person in the world that has had those to have the thoughts that I have. There's other people that have went through the same thing, and I'm looking for those people to connect with, to where we can shoot back and forth those stories, what have you. That's another reason why I have you on the episode, another episode again, because we're like-minded. We can talk about things. But inconsistently consistent was a play off of me, right? It came down to things that I would jump into because I started doing that. I started jumping into every single thing back to back to back to back to back to back. And what I was finding out is I wasn't getting any satisfaction. And so what was happening is I would quit. And it went into my life as well. Every time I would get into another job, like fuck this shit, I don't like this shit, I'm out. I would quit quickly and not give no 2 weeks notice, no nothing. I'm out. Fuck this shit. I'm done. You know?
Fuck the 2 weeks notice. I
Yeah,
never give
fuck the
two
two
weeks
weeks
notice.
notice. I'm out.
Did they give you a 2 weeks notice when they cut you? Hell nah.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So
2 day
with the
notice.
right, peace. So with inconsistently consistent, it was about me. I was inconsistent on a lot of shit. I didn't finish, right? So the unfinishedly finisher is gonna have his podcast. That's where the name came from. That's
That's
how it
cool.
came up. That's how it came about
Yeah.
because it was a play on me, right? It was my baby. It was my shit. It
Mhm.
was my internal shit that I was dealing with. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so who better to sit in front of the mic and tell truths about himself,
Yeah.
right? Because somebody might be able to look at this shit and get something from it. You know what I'm saying? And be like, damn, I went through that, or damn, like I understand that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's why I have no problem talking about or being open, like, oh yeah, I was addicted to porn, or yeah, I
Mhm.
was, I was this person. I looked at fucking Instagram and TikTok and looked at ass and boobs and stuff like that. I'm just real. I'm an open book.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just me. That's who I am. Like I don't know how to be any other way. Yes, is there shit that I hide that I don't tell? Of course. But I know deep down in my body, in my head, that the shit that I'm hiding, eventually it will come out.
Mhm.
So what better person to tell the story about the shit that's gonna come out is me. And that's why I've
Yeah.
always been like that. I had to learn that technique. I had to learn that first. Because again, I would hide shit, get on shit, be fake. Like when I'll give you a perfect example. When I started my music career, here's some truth for you. When I started my music career, I got signed to a record label, all that shit. Went all the way down with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be this big rap star, right? That was what was in my head. Okay. God had other plans.
Mhm.
Just exactly how I'm gonna say it. God had other plans. He intervened. You know what I'm saying? And was able to see what was happening or what would be happening today, to where either if you are an old school rapper or someone who came up, you're not as popping anymore. So how does that look? I had to constantly ask myself these questions as a rapper. What does it look like when I'm not a rapper? What does it look like when I'm not Static? What does it look like when I'm not Erik? You know, again, I'm always going to be Erik because that's my name. But again, it's a play on words as well. Everything real is known,
Yeah.
right? So that was my stage name. So just putting it out there.
Nice.
But what does it look like when I'm not that as a rapper? You know what I'm saying? So I had to ask these questions before these questions even would come out to where people would be talking about these things nowadays. I was asking myself that when I was signing contracts and when I was making music. And some
Yeah.
some other truth for you is when I was going through and making this music, like you say, like a lot of the shit that you see today, and you're like, damn, like these rappers is fake as fuck. They ain't really living their lyrics. Yo, I was part of that group before it was well known to know that a rapper wasn't living their lyrics and stuff like that. Before I start getting real in my lyrics and start talking about myself, I was talking about my brother's lifestyle.
Mhm.
All my lyrics was based around shit that my brother did. It,
Mhm.
it wasn't shit that I did. It was shit that my brother did, or shit that I seen on TV or in a movie, and I could just write a lyric about it or
Mhm.
whatever the case may be, and come up with a song, and boom, there you go. But I'm not going to sit there and tell you that there's songs that I didn't write that wasn't, true about
Mhm.
my life and shit that I've witnessed and shit that I've seen or whatever the case may be. But it took a while. The point that I'm making is it took a while for me to get there. It took a
Mhm.
while for me to understand that and what I was doing,
Yeah.
right? How I explain, how I break down the podcast name, how I break down the weird. It took a while for me to get there. So
And
what I'm learning and what I'm understanding is there's no quick fix.
no.
That's why the lottery doesn't phase me. That's why that's not a fix for me, because I know that whatever it is that I'm going through it for a reason, and there's no quick fix to it. There's no quick
Preach.
fix to shit.
Absolutely. You said it best. It's time, bro. Time
Yeah.
is what allowed you to mature and understand and have that perspective and understanding of like this is the path that you're on. You know what I mean? This
Right.
is the right path. Everything happens for a reason,
Mm-hmm.
and keeping it real 100 is always gonna attract others to learn more about your story because they
Sure.
see that. Because the smoke will clear, bro. Like everyone can see through the fakeness, and that's what's attractive right now with the whole
Mm-hmm.
fast life. Just scroll, scroll, scroll.
Right.
Is
It's
that yeah?
fakes and filters.
Let me just see what the fantasy life is about. You
Right.
know,
Right. Right. Right.
but at
Yeah.
the end of the day, what we all really strive for is for that authenticity. So when somebody
You
brings
said it
that
best.
realness,
Yeah.
they're like, "Whoo, breath of fresh air!" Like,
Yeah.
"Fuck yeah, I can
Mm-hmm.
listen to this person. Fuck yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I can relate to this person." Instead
Mm-hmm.
of just fucking somebody that's just whether they're talking about a lifestyle that they don't live or taking pictures in like these big ass cabanas and by the pool, thinking
It
like they're
all
living the life
fades.
like when it's not real. You know what I
It
mean?
all fades.
I wanted to ask you about the clothing company because
Yes,
I
sir.
know it's for anti-bullying. So
Mm-hmm.
tell me how that's rooted within the Weird Clothing Company.
Okay. So I used to get bullied back in the day. I used to remember we talked about the spray paint and the gun and shit
Mhm,
like that, right? So back in the day, I used to get bullied and I used to get fucked with a lot. Okay. Um, Mainly when I was in Minnesota, right? Because I was black, I used to get called nigger. I used to get called out of my name, get chased, shit like that. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit up here and say that I wasn't a terror. Well, excuse me, and say that I wasn't a terror, that I didn't do shit. I did. But here's the thing. When I was growing up, I didn't fit in because I was too black, right? I was too black for the white kids.
mm,
So what did I do? I started dressing like them. I started doing the things that they would do, skating,
mm,
dressing the Abercrombie and Fitch, DC's, skater shit. You know what I mean? That's what was popping when I was coming up in my neck of the woods when I was coming up. So I got really good at that, right? But as I start to grow, and as once we moved to Arizona, and once I got out here, I start getting black friends, and these black friends wouldn't accept me neither because I wasn't black enough.
mm.
So I couldn't go around them wearing the Abercrombie and Fitch and DC's and shit like that. It's not as accepted as it is today. So I was the outcast. And I felt like this for many, many years. I couldn't
Damn,
be my full self. I was always hiding who I really was
damn.
through my music, through my daily life, through everything. I was always hiding who I really was. If I was going to go to a black party or go to a black kickback or hang out, I had to wear FUBU and, dress down and this, that, and the third. But I couldn't really hide it as well because going around family, they'd say, "Oh, you talk too proper."
Mm,
So I was never really fully accepted.
damn.
So that put a damper on how I seen life and how I my outcome. So one of the reasons why I wanted to be a rapper so bad is because I wanted to show everyone, hey, fuck you. This is what I did. Fuck
Mm,
all the hate that you gave me. This is what I did. But all of that shit was rooted in selfishness. And I was the one that was holding on to the anger and the hate, right? Those
mm,
other people were living their lives. But I was
damn.
the one who was holding on to the anger and the hate, right? So it built up one day because another thing that I was into before it popped and before it got popular was technology, right? I talk about technology a lot because it's rooted into my background, right? So with getting into technology and having the latest and greatest phone, the latest and greatest watch, what have you, right? Having these things um, would make you an outcast too. Would make you like a nerd or you're a black goddess in tech. What the fuck? That's not that picture doesn't look right. You know what I
Mhm,
mean? So with all of this shutout, push, being pushed away, all this shit going on in my life and just not feeling like I was meant to be anywhere. I'm sitting at work one day And I can't remember what kind of conversation I was having, but the conversation ended up being where it left off where the person called me weird. And I went back to my desk, my cubicle, so fucking pissed. I mean, I was pissed, livid. And I just kept saying the word over and over and over in my head. Weird, weird, weird. I'm not fucking weird. I'm the cool guy. Can't you see I got the latest technology? I got the latest phone. Bitch, can't you see I got this motherfucking watch? Motherfucker, this watch can tell more than time, bitch. Like, can't you fucking tell I got the latest fucking shoes on? I got the latest clothing. Bitch, I'm not weird. I'm sitting at this cubicle so fucking upset and so mad about what would just have been said about me, right? And I just kept saying the word over and over. Weird, weird. How the fuck can they call me weird? Fuck that. And I was just pissed off, getting so mad and angry that I wrote the word probably about between 25 and 50 times. I just
Damn.
wrote it. Just kept writing it.
Your
Just
hands
kept
all
looking at it. Just kept
crumpled
writing it.
after.
Yeah, hand probably was all fucked up because I'm squeezing the shit out the pen. You know what I'm saying? Blood vessels all up in my fingers. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
The
I'm
paper's
pressing the
ripping
shit
because
out
you're
the
writing
pen.
so hard.
You know what I'm saying? I'm writing this word over and over and over. And I broke it out. Boom. W.E.I.R.D. I just broke it out. And I looked at it. And I start coming up with the words to fit into the word weird. And I'm like, wait, shit, I might be onto something. And I broke out the words, right, of what it was going to stand for. And when I got to the rich dork part, it just rung a bell. It really did. And the rich part is not rich in money. It's rich in spirit. It's rich in love. It's rich in other things. It's not rich because you're rich and you have money, right? And everybody can identify with being a dork. At some point in time coming up, you wasn't always the fucking cool kid.
Yep.
At some point in time, you were a dork and you did some stupid shit at the time that you thought was cool, but other people's looked at it like, nah, you're a dork. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was, and that's what I, and that's, and it draws back to the roots that I came up in too, as well. You know what I'm saying? In regards to like how I was brought up in Minnesota and being around whites and, you know, the whole 90s shit, Saved by the Bell, fucking, you know what I'm saying? That pop culture that was of the 90s that I came up in. So dork was a fucking staple of a word.
Yeah.
So it just fit.
Damn.
That's how it came to life.
That's cool, man.
It was a word that pissed me off that I was being called in multiple occasions, right? It's just this last time when I was at work and the word came up in regards to me. That's what that was the needle that broke the camel's back. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
But I have been being called weird and strange and every other word, just everything except for Erik or everything except for the fucking cool guy or you know what I'm saying? Because I had this fantasy. I had this fantasy of being the cool guy, the it fucking guy. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just being myself and being enough. And yeah, that's how it came about.
Damn, that's dope how you were able to turn all that energy into something that's positive, man.
Right.
And having an influence on others. That's dope.
And I think that's what's missing from the youth. It's no outlets.
Nah.
It's no fucking outlets. They are literally, if we go back to rap, they are literally rapping about their environment. There's no outlet. They're not looking at the OGs like a Master P or anything. He's washed up now. They're not looking at a 50 Cent and saying, holy shit, these guys are my idols or people I should look up to. And FYI, by the way, these are people that I personally look up to. Damon Johns. You know, we talk about Steve Jobs and, you know, the whole Apple structure and how that is. I do look at Mark Zuckerberg as someone to look up to as well, because look what he built out of Facebook. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I talk shit about the technology, but at the same time, it's a push and pull with it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because there's great shit that comes out of it as well. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? It's not all bad.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's all about balance, and
Yeah,
that's where
absolutely.
it sometimes it's a little lopsided.
It
But I think
is.
that's why our generation, the millennials, that a lot of people love talking shit on, is one of the best generations because we came in at a time where it's not completely technology, but at the same
Mhm.
time, there is not no technology. So
Yeah.
we're a little bit more advanced than the generation before us, which is our parents, the baby boomers,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we still are like hip enough for the new generations where
Right.
we're still capable of keeping up with all of the stuff that's going
Keeping up with the
on with the
times. Yeah.
technology
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
Yeah.
we're like a hybrid, you know what I mean? We're fluid and shit.
I
And
like that.
it's how we're able to balance that. Like we could go to a party and we don't need to just be on our phones, and
Hmm.
text each other at the same party. Whereas, like,
I'm seeing
dude,
that
you know
shit.
what I mean? Like the next generation, which is what the Gen Z, Gen Y, whatever the hell their name is,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they can't talk on the phone. They have to like text and they can't communicate in person. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
they don't know how to do it. Whereas like
Yeah.
we were developed with the interpersonal skills that you need to like survive before cell phones were around. You know what I mean? We're alive when the Nokia brick was still around, when you had
Bruh.
the snake
Bruh.
game on that, you know?
Bruh.
You had to print out the map quest to find
Bruh.
directions,
I wanted to be so cool when the cell phones came out. Not the brick ones. I seen the brick ones, but I only seen the brick ones in a neighborhood of my cousins and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the dope boy, you know what I'm saying? Like the
Mhm.
dope boys and shit. Like they had the cell phones. Like I have a white background, but I got a black background too. I'm able to dibble and dabble in both areas.
There you
But
go.
um I seen these cell phones there. But my story is I literally those they shrunk the phones down to where they were like clamshell, like not
Yeah.
necessarily clamshell. They were like the bottom flipped up and closed, but you still had
Yeah.
like the phone part and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I wanted to be cool so fucking bad that I walked around with a dead cell phone on my hip, dead beepers on my hip,
Oh,
okay?
shit.
And I would turn them on and off to act like I was getting calls. And I can't be the only motherfucker in the world who did this. I thought, listen, I thought I was so fucking cool, 11, 12 years old, when my phone turns on and go, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and I'm like, hold on, I'm getting a call. Hello? And I'm fucking playing it off like I'm getting a fucking call. Or,
Oh,
you know what I'm
at
saying, with the
11 years
beeper
old
and
and shit, like,
shit.
"What's up? Me and you at the
Yeah.
playground?
Yeah,
Got you."
yeah. Hold on. Let me call you back. I'm with somebody. Blam, and I close it and then keep my
Oh,
conversation going.
man.
Or you know what I'm saying, when your beeper goes, "Dit, dit, dit, dit," and I pull up and I'm like, oh damn, hold on, I'll be back. I'm getting page 911. Like, who the fuck is paging the fucking 13-year-old 911?
And that's
Or
another
fucking,
thing.
or you played it
Our
off with when the battery was going dead and it said low bat. Low bat. That was low bat with somebody. God
Yeah,
damn it. Like,
that is too
hold on.
funny. Hold up.
What? Oh shit. Low bat. Yeah, I'm getting hit up. I'm getting hit up.
Oh, man. But that's another thing too. Our generation is a generation where we actually had to memorize numbers.
Ooh, yes.
Hey,
Yes. Yes, sir.
and then now I don't memorize no fucking numbers. My
Hell
phone
no.
memorizes it for
Hell no.
me.
Right. It memorizes every fucking
I was
thing
just
for
with my
you.
girl the other day, and I was all trying to replay like her phone number. I'm like, all right, 714-371. She's like, okay, 307. Okay, let me look again. Like, damn, dude, it's still tough to remember
It's
numbers. The only
tough. Yeah,
number I
it's tough.
remember is my house phone from when I was a kid, which is no longer in existence, and then
Right.
my mom's cell phone because she got the cell phone back when it was the Nokia, the old
Yeah,
brick.
yeah, yeah.
So those are the only numbers I memorized, man. It's just sad. Like it's crazy. So think about the generation after us. They have no memory of any
The fuck is a
numbers.
cell phone? What the fuck
Everything's
is a
on a cell
cell
phone.
phone to them? What the
Take
fuck is
away
a tablet, a
electricity from them, they're not
laptop?
gonna
They
know
don't
what the hell
even.
to do, dog.
Yeah, they're not with this shit. No, of course not. They're not gonna know what the fuck to do with it. My grandsons won't know what to do with none of this shit. They'll know how to play with the fucking phones. because they play with their mom's phone or whatever.
Yeah.
But beyond that, when they get older and this shit's obsolete,
Oh
they're gonna
yeah,
be looking
dude.
upside my head like, what? Like,
Which
you
is
had
crazy,
what?
man. It's crazy to see how fast technology's gone. Like, which I appreciate because I'm young enough to see how all started, and I'm like still in the middle of it where I'm like I'm able to witness with my very eyes to see how fast it's transformed. Like, bruh, I
I'm gonna make
graduated
it.
high school in 2010, and we weren't rocking nice iPhones at my school. You know,
Hell
iPhone just
nah.
came out. iPhone
Hell
just came
nah.
out. We weren't typing on laptops. It was a desktop that still
Man.
fucking it was a big ass tower. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta let it
Mm-hmm.
load, and then you didn't want to turn it off because it might not start the proper way when you
Right.
turn
It
it
might
back
not
on. You
start
know?
up right or it's gonna take too long. Bro,
So it's
I was
like,
on Oregon Trail.
and then to see
I was on
now, like we're
Oregon Trail
doing
with them big ass
Zoom,
computers. Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Oregon Trail. What's that?
Oregon Trail. See? Look.
The hell is
See?
that?
Floppy
Yeah, Eric, you're
disk,
a little
bruh.
older than me, bro.
Oh yeah, I'm older than you for sure. Floppy disk, bruh.
Oh, I
Like,
know that.
yeah. You had to put these fucking floppy disks into the computer, and it would boot up, and there was different games that you could play. So like Oregon Trail was this pixelated fucking game that was that was gearing you and telling you about life, but and it was a really great game. It was gearing you and telling you how to navigate through life. But we never, as kids, we never took it that
Mm,
serious. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? If you go back and you play this game now, it's literally gearing you and telling you how to navigate through life. If family member
Mm,
gets sick, if you get a lot of money, like what you're supposed to do, do you invest? Like it, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? How much cattle do I buy? The cattle didn't went bad. You know what I'm saying? Like it literally geared you towards life or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So,
Damn.
but I got another
Education.
point. I have another point where I think that this shit is shoehorning and going into. I think the violence will stop. I'm also going to go out on a limb and I'm also going to say I think that racism will stop.
Mm.
And I'm putting a lot of coins on this shit. I'm putting a lot of merit on this shit right here that I'm about
Oh
to say.
man.
I really honestly think it'll stop once we get into the metaverse.
Oh shit.
It's going to happen. It's going to fucking happen. Violence will stop. Racism will stop because you can be a fucking monster. You can be anything you want to be in the
Yeah.
metaverse. And the way that this shit is coming, I think that's what's going to stop a lot of it.
Mm.
Because, again, we're already to the point, like we started the episode by saying that, or at least I started the episode by saying that I don't feel like this shit is real. Life is not real. Because the shit that's happening back to back, it's like it's not even giving us a chance to fucking catch up. And by the
Mhm.
time we catch up, we don't even give a fuck about it at that point in
Mhm.
time. We move the fuck on to the next thing.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So the internet has caught up to where it is now, to where we're able to have the metaverse and we're able to have these different spaces to where it's going to look similar to this movie that was out, and I cannot remember the name of it, but Steven Spielberg did it, where Ready Player One.
Yeah, Ready Player One. That's a
Yeah,
good movie.
it's a fucking awesome movie. I love it, but I think that's where we're headed, and I think once that happens, we won't care because if you look at some of the scenes in the movies where they're stacked on top of each other in these trailer park looking things, right? It didn't matter. It was all kinds of different races in there. It was fat, white, black, Asian, Hispanic. It didn't matter,
Yeah.
and everybody's on the same fucking thing, trying to still win, still having this lottery mentality. But it's I think that what's happening is they're trying to push this lottery mentality into the metaverse, into where people can obtain this quick fix of a reward
Yeah.
quicker. And I honestly think that's where we're headed. And
Yep.
that's where
I
no,
agree.
fuck that. We're not headed there. We're there. It's just a matter of it. It's just a matter of it coming down to everyday Joe
Yeah.
Blow. You know what I'm saying? To having these tech.
Metaverse is about to blow, bro. I got
Yeah.
money in that shit. buy
Yep.
some
Some
Decentraland,
stock. Yep.
Coinbase app.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to
Mm-hmm.
Coinbase. Because
Yeah.
dude, the metaverse, I do believe that we will be in a society. We will witness it before we die, where we're in a
Yes.
society where
Yes.
we're in that element of that Ready Player One type of
Mm-hmm.
society where everyone's just chasing to live their best life virtually. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because
They
to
won't
your
give a
point,
fuck about. Yeah. They won't give a
they don't
fuck
have to they
about
don't have to they don't have to
the real
work for
life.
their American dream or the
Mm-mm.
white picket fence. It's like,
They don't.
boom,
Because they can just
you can
make
get
the
it from
white
there.
picket
Yeah.
fence and they can make their fucking dream and they can make it all there. And it taps into another point that I was going to make in regards to some stupid shit that I did, right? But it's how everybody started to kind of migrate, right? I've never saw myself spending real money on virtual shit, but I have. I've
Hmm.
done it. So I'm going to give you the story.
Break it down.
I was playing Grand Theft Auto. And if anybody knows about Grand Theft Auto, if you've played this game, which is super duper old at this point, okay, when you play online as an online character, it's a grind. It's like real life in a sense. It's a grind. You have to get up to a certain amount of stature to have all these toys, and Rockstar makes all these toys super expensive so you can either cheat to win to where you're going to buy all these shark cards and then jump ahead and then boom, you got the lifestyle and you're having fun and you got all the greatest weapons and you can fuck people up, yada yada yada,
Yeah.
you know but you kind of jumped and cheated to get there, right?
Yeah.
Or you can grind it out and they have businesses that you can purchase, okay, to where you can make money through your businesses if you
Oh
work
shit.
them, but it's a grind, right? It's like life.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck that noise. I'm not finna grind to get, couple $1,000,000 so I could put it on this fucking business here just so I can make this game feel like real life. I'm
Yeah.
already grinding in real life. Fuck this shit in the game. I just want to blow a motherfucker smithereens when I see him. Okay. So I invested in this drug business. Okay. And I don't know, nobody can see it, but I'm rubbing my hands together like this. I don't know why I'm rubbing my hands together. But,
Excellent.
I feel you're right. All right. I brought this drug empire. Okay. So I buy this shit in the game. I buy a shark card. Okay. So I spent real money on virtual money. Dumbest shit I've ever done in my life. Okay. But I did it. And I buy this drug front. Okay. And I'm making my money and I'm making my coins. I buy a bulletproof car. Okay. But the bulletproof car can still get blown up. You know what I'm saying? But it's a bulletproof car if I need to handle some business. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I'm on this job. And it was a few different spots that you have to run to, okay, to pick up this money after you had dropped off the drugs. Okay. I do this and I'm on the last mission, the last place to go pick up. Okay. But it's some fuck online that's been kind of fucking with me. Okay. Now I could stand to make, I think it was like 20 to 30 million after I get the last drop. But you got all of this money and you got all this shit on you right now, okay? That you're trying to go back to play, dump in, do all this shit. But you had to go to these 5 places before you got back to your location. So this asshole is fucking with me online. Comes through, has a better fucking vehicle than me, better guns, blows me to fucking smithereens. The feeling I felt, okay? If I could have jumped through the fucking screen and killed him in real life, I'll be locked the fuck up right fucking now. Okay. The feeling I felt when he fucked up this mission for me. Oh my God. I bullshit you not. I was so pissed because now I have to start from the beginning. I have to grind again. I just spent $50 fucking dollars on my real money to get this front. You fucking up real money right now.
Oh
But
shit.
it ties into the whole Ready Player One thing. in that movie because you've seen when people died or got killed, they lost all their coins and shit. And
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? They'd be fucked up. So I, I think that the violence will slow down against each other. I think we'll still have violence, but I think it'll slow down against each other. But it we ain't going outside no more, man. We ain't going
Playing
outside no
outside
more,
of the
man.
swings ain't gonna be
We ain't going
the ain't
outside no
gonna
more,
be the
man.
thing, dog.
It ain't.
For
It
real.
ain't. We're gonna do this shit virtually, and that's the way that it's gonna be from moving forward. And I accepted that. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
Is that is the future and where we're headed. I accepted it because I already knew a long time ago, and everybody used to fight me on it. But I was like, robots are gonna be running this shit. People are looking at me crazy, like, nah, I ain't fuck that. I ain't getting no robot to put in my house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, yes, you will, and you'll beg
Yeah.
for it. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? It's the way it's built. They built this shit to where you'll need it and you'll beg for it.
Yep.
You'll beg for the shit.
You'll accept it. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you'll
you'll
accept
line
it.
up for it. That's even
Yeah,
worse. You'll line up
exactly.
for it
You'll line up for the
and
shit.
work for it. You'll be earning all your
You'll
money just to
grind
go
for
buy
it. You'll grind for it
For
to
real,
have this
man.
shit,
It's
man.
crazy, dog. It is crazy. I do
Yeah.
believe. I agree with you. It's gonna be heading that way, which
Mhm.
I'm not fully accepting of where it's going, but damn, man, it's
Got no
crazy how
choice.
fast it moves.
Popular majority rules. You got no
Oh yeah,
choice.
dude. You
Majority
got no
rules.
choice. You adapt or you get left behind.
Exactly. Exactly. You could be the one that's living off the grid, but it's a whole world going on. The whole world, you losing benefits and all kinds of other shit because you just won't jump on the metaverse. And that's how the fuck they play it. Like, you know, even with Facebook and shit, you know, like when it started up, like, you ain't on this shit. Oh, okay. Cool. You ain't gonna get this, you ain't gonna get this,
Yeah,
you ain't gonna get this. They
you're gonna be
make you
left
get
behind.
onto it, and then when you get onto it, you know, you either stay or you figure out a way around it or whatever the case would be.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely looking like a future where we'll be avatars. We'll be avatars. We'll be
Oh
avatars,
shit.
okay?
Yep.
But they got
Avatars
it
are
already
coming for
locked
sure.
in, bro. They got
Yeah,
it
dude.
already locked in. It's already fucking dialed in. It's
It
just
is, dude.
it
It's just a
has not
matter of
got
making
down
that
to
that
it
that
hasn't
that
got down to the
bridge.
consumer yet. To
Yeah.
the average consumer that has the money to be able to pay for the best stuff.
Because
You can get
business is
in with
already
some of the
investing
weak
over there.
shit, but
I
yeah.
think like Samsung,
Mhm.
Nike, they already bought like real estate,
Real estate, yeah, in the metaverse.
virtual
Yeah.
real estate, like
Yeah.
they're buying that shit up. Like,
Mhm.
it's crazy. And
Mhm.
I think there's even like loan officers that are selling real estate through the metaverse. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like, dude,
Yep.
this is crazy. This is this the new thing, and it's
And
gonna
my
blow.
question to you is, who you gonna be in the
Shit,
metaverse?
dog. The complete opposite of what I am now.
Exactly.
A selfish
Exactly.
motherfucker that don't give a fuck that has to do with anything.
I got needs, bitch.
I'll be the guy that sees you on a mission and takes your
Right.
shit.
It takes my shit. It's a doggy dog world. Full
Fuck,
fucking
dude.
circle moments,
It's
man. Look,
crazy, man.
man, listen, man. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the outro, man. I really this was a fucking damn good conversation.
Yeah, it was, man.
And
It
it
went
was,
deep.
you know what? And it was needed. It was
Mhm.
needed. My soul needed this
Oh, yeah.
conversation.
I like it.
Right after what I witnessed, and well, I didn't witness, but right after what I saw on
Yeah.
October 31st, leading into November the 1st, and my soul needed it.
Oh, yeah, man.
I
Same
needed
here,
to be
bro.
able to laugh a bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At some of the dumb and the stupid shit that I've done, but the dumb and stupid shit that you know society has done as well
Yeah,
to keep
bro.
us fucking
We're
entertained.
we're all the same, dog.
Yeah.
Just the only thing that changes is our clothes and the style, bro. We're all the
Yep.
same, just living the same shit.
And soon enough, we'll be able to change our skin colors and look like aliens and the rest of the fucking. You watch, goddammit! I'm gonna be a fucking blue alien looking motherfucker.
Flossing out. Fucking look
Flossing like
like
a motherfucker.
oh, man,
But
that's
man,
awesome.
I really enjoyed this conversation. I really enjoyed you coming through and having this conversation with me, bro. But look, so I'm trying to set this up, okay? I am trying to set up a live stream. for my last episode, and I want to talk about all the fucking bullshit that I went through trying to get this season together. Because I definitely went through some shit trying to get this season together. So, listener, if you made it this far in the fucking episode, I am trying to set up a live stream for my last episode of this season of season 5. Man, I had a fucking blast. Just this season has been awesome to me, and it's been really fulfilling for my soul, the shit that I've been talking about. But listener, I hope you enjoyed yourself. I'm sure your ears will thank your brain later. I always fuck that up at the end. Inconsistently consistent. I'm out, man. Peace.
Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it, my man.